DeerHunterFan.com TV is sponsored by Buck Yeah, Muddy Outdoors, Outback Archery, Ridge Runners Guide Service, Scent Blocker, Schreier Outfitters, Spy Point, Sinclairville Seed Company, and Steady Form. I'm Brian Madison with DeerHunterFan.com TV, and on this week's show we're going to start catching up on all these bucks that have been put down over the last 2 weeks. As you know, last week there wasn't a show because we were heading back from Kansas and I couldn't make a show up while we were down there. We were there with Ridge Runners Guide Service. It was a spectacular trip. We saw a lot of big deer, a lot of big bucks, and we were able to get one on the ground. As I said, over the last couple of weeks, a lot of bucks have hit the ground. In fact, 7 bucks we put down over the last 14 days. So, very impressive. Every year we usually have a week where it's a good number. I think the best before this was 5. So, I think that to kind of touch base on what I was touching base on in some other episodes, I think that the first rut was slowed down and extremely impacted by the weather, and I think that the later rut and second rut are probably going to be the better of everything as far as deer movement during daytime and bucks being on their feet. This week's show we have to, as I said, start catching up, so we're going to Kansas and Illinois, putting some bucks on the ground.
That's the biggest buck I've ever got to see, to shoot.
Well, I just shot a deer about, it's been about an hour and 20 minutes ago, and I'm here with Bob Weibel. We're going to go in there and see if we can recover it. I hope so, because that's the biggest deer I've ever shot in my life. So we're going to act like a couple of bloodhounds and get after it. I hope we find it, and you guys will be right along with us, I guess. So come with us.
Oh my God. Wow. He's my 8. Wow. Lowbrow. Look at the size of that buck. Lowbrow. Wow.
Well, he ain't as big as my bow, but he's a big sucker.
What's really neat about this deer, Bob's had him on video for 2 years, and this year we saw him on the trail camera several times. We called him Lowbrow because of that point right there. And Bob had his eye on him earlier for himself, and he shot another deer, a big 11 point. And anyway, I sat on the stand for, I don't know how many days till I was sore. And anyway, went in there yesterday at about 2 o'clock and sitting there, and the little doe come in, and I'm watching her, and she's getting a little nervous, and I could tell that there's some other deer around, and then she kind of tucked her tail between her legs and lowered them ears and kind of scooted out there just a little bit. And I said, there's got to be a buck there. So I turned my camera, opened it up to where it come on, and it takes 10 seconds for the video to start, and I'm waiting on these steps out, and I go, oh my gosh, I about had a heart attack. And so anyway, I had to wait, and I turned the camera on, and started rolling, and locked up there, and he turned just a little bit, and I let him have it. Boy, I was a nervous wreck. About had a heart attack sitting in that stand. I just was hoping that we could find him. I made a good shot, thought, and called Bob and told him I'd shot a pretty good buck. And I want to thank Steady for him. Man, that's a good piece of equipment. I can shoot a lot better with it. And I want to thank Ridge Runner Guide Service for a good place to hunt. They've got good big deer here. I mean, we've seen them on camera all summer long. And I want to thank Scent Blocker. It's very high quality equipment, the best. And I want to thank Bob. Wasn't for him, he's a pretty good guide, and he's doing 100%. He does everything he can for you. And I hope you like the video, and hope you continue watching this. It's been fun.
Here it is, it's finally here. First night, Pike County, Illinois, bow hunt. Drove around this morning, seen 3 real nice shooters. They were all with does. Just following them, they weren't chasing hard, but imagine the peak of the seeking phase is right around the corner from the activity I seen this morning. Brett. Well, I just shot a buck. I believe it's a nice 8. Come in chasing a doe. He's been in and out through here throughout the day, or throughout the afternoon, I should say. He come down chasing a doe. They'll come through about 29 yards. He come through about 32, 33. I grunted, stopped him, gave me the perfect broadside shot. I was able to get the camera on him and let the arrow go. And
so much. Less shaking. Shake and bake. Well, we are still in Illinois, and we just got a call from Chad Chase that he already has a buck down on the first day of his hunt. We're only about an hour and a half from him, and we don't plan on hunting Kansas till tomorrow afternoon anyway, so we're going to swing by, get a look at that buck, make a game plan, and Chad's just going to come to Kansas with us now. So what a great start to the week. Well, it's end of the week, but it's starting our hunting week, so we're super excited.
well, it all came together tonight, kind of like I hoped it would. Very rarely does it happen, but tonight it just worked out. There's, as you see from my video, there's no shortage of buck movement tonight. And as I said before, they're not chasing right now, they're just seeking. And I just got in a good funnel area, and they just kept coming through. And he was following a doe that was having no part of it. She's probably close, but she was avoiding him, and they come in and out a few times, and she come by at 25 yards, and he come by about 32, and I grunted at him, got him stopped, and put a nice shot on him. He went just a few yards and went down.
What an absolute giant that Dale was able to take in Kansas with Ridge Runner's Guide Service. That buck, if you remember back to, I think, the first show of this semi-live online season, Bob and Dale were talking about their hit list, and that buck was one of those bucks, one of the twin eights. Great deer, huge deer, and definitely a deer when you think of what could step out in front of you at any moment when you're in a state like Kansas. That's what you're picturing. Could be behind any cedar tree and any clump of CRP, and literally just takes seconds to step out and change your entire season, life even as a hunter. That's a big deer, biggest deer Dale's ever shot, and he was super excited, and you can see why. And Chad took a nice buck in Illinois, nice tall tines. We were actually heading down to Kansas at the time he called and said he killed it. So we actually stopped in Illinois, helped do the recovery, and loaded him up and took him with us to Kansas to cameraman. So next week's show, more of the same. We're going to be catching up. It's probably going to take us to 2 more weeks after this to be caught up to where we're at now. And then obviously, whatever happens in between now and then, it's just going to keep adding on. I'm Brian Madison with DeerHunterFan.com TV. I'll see you next time. DeerHunterFan.com TV is sponsored by Buck Yeah, Muddy Outdoors, Outback Archery, Ridge Runner's Guide Service, Scent Blocker, Schreier Outfitters, Spy Point, Sinclairville Seed Company, and Steady Form.